I was a little boy. My dad said, you stay here. And they ran up into the press box with being an inquisitive little kid. I ran up. I saw a young guy laying dead with a needle in his arm. Don't be that guy. It's an epidemic. Be an athlete. Be a student. Be a man. And football, that's the greatest thing about being a football player, being a football coach. Football is a vehicle. Gives you an opportunity to get an education. An opportunity is the greatest word in the world.
Absolutely. It is.
We played Giant Stadium, Bill Parcells was the coach. We were playing in the state championship game, and there was a mix-up, and I go, you got to go in the Giants locker room. That's cool. We walk in, Bill Parcells has a sign right as you walk in. And that sign says, 15% of life is what happens to you. 85% of life is what you do with what happens to you. Now, the bright kids on our team, they got that message right away. Some of the others, we had to give a little explanation. But the moral of the story is don't wallow in the pity of, oh, this happened.
Yes.
Do something about it. Learn from your mistakes. Overcome adversity. That's what football teaches you. And that's why what we're doing here tonight, what we're doing here this week, you have the opportunity to be coached by these guys, college football coaches, guys who played in the NFL, learn from some of the greatest coaches in the world. They achieved the top potential in their football lives. Played in the NFL. They're here all week relaying what was instilled in them to you. So I want you to give each and every one of them a hand for what they give you. So back to the young kid, 9th and Jefferson. I always used to have to pick up the socks and the dirty jerseys, and 20 years into my coaching career, I was still picking up socks. And whatever had to be done, you did it. That's the way I was taught. But that day, we had won a game. We had a successful season. And my dad started talking to them in the locker room. And I'm looking like, when are they going to take their jerseys off? I want to go get something to eat. Nobody took their jerseys off. So I look around the room, and they're all crying. And I'm a little kid, I don't know how to process that. So I start laughing. And I run in the back of the equipment room, and I hide behind the shoes, and I'm laughing. And one of the guys that my dad coached, his brother, he's a 35-year football coach today. He's like, what are you laughing at, you little crybaby? I'm like, I'm not crying, they're crying. But I couldn't process it. So I'll fast forward 10 years later. My senior year. I'm sitting in my locker. We had a successful season. We won our last game.